Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the silent partner you have in every single decision you make. Yep, the hidden architect of your life.
You know, Blaise Pascal once said, "The heart has its reasons of which reason knows nothing." And that kind of hits home, right? We all like to believe we're the captain of our own ship, that our choices are the product of conscious, logical thought. We think we know our reasons.
Because what if that's not the whole story? Science is revealing this hidden, powerful, and sometimes, frankly, bizarre force that truly governs your perceptions, your memories, and your behavior. It's your unconscious mind. So let's start by seeing just how big a role it really plays.
To start, let's just try to get a sense of scale. How much of your mental life do you think happens completely outside of your awareness?
The number is pretty staggering, 95%. Think of your mind as an iceberg. That little tip you see above the water, that's your conscious mind. But scientists estimate that a whopping 95% of your cognitive function, your perceptions, your feelings, your thoughts, it's all happening completely below the surface.
You know this feeling for sure. You're driving to work, you arrive, and then you think, wait, I don't remember any of that journey? That's it. That's a perfect glimpse of your unconscious at work. It handles complex tasks like driving, leaving your conscious mind free to think about other stuff. But believe me, its capabilities go way beyond simple habits. Okay, get this. There's a patient known in the literature as TN. After 2 strokes, his brain's visual cortex was completely destroyed. His conscious experience of sight was just gone. Doctors confirmed it. He couldn't see shapes, movement, or even a bright light shone right in his eyes.
But then, researchers asked him to walk down a cluttered hallway without his cane, and he perfectly navigated around every single obstacle. Just think about that. TN had absolutely no conscious awareness of seeing anything. He said it felt like he was guessing, and yet another hidden part of his brain was processing visual data from his eyes and guiding his body perfectly through the space.
This is a real phenomenon. It's called blind sight. And it's powerful proof that there's a part of your brain constantly perceiving and acting on the world for you, whether your conscious mind gets an invitation to the party or not.
So if your unconscious is building your perception of the present, what is it doing with your past? Well, this is where it gets even stranger.
Most of us think our memory works like a video camera, accurately recording events for later playback. But research shows it's much more like a creative storyteller. Your brain stores the general theme, the gist of what happened, and then, when you remember, it unconsciously fills in the details. It's an act of reconstruction, not playback.
And this can have huge consequences. Take the story of Jennifer Thompson. During a horrific assault, she was determined to remember every detail of her attacker's face. Her testimony in court was confident, detailed, and incredibly vivid. It was the kind of eyewitness account juries trust, and it sent a man named Ronald Cotton to prison for life.
The problem was, DNA evidence later proved Ronald Cotton was innocent. Thompson's memory was a complete fabrication. Her mind had remembered the gist of her attacker, the general features, but had unconsciously and incorrectly filled in the specific details with the face of a completely innocent man. The memory felt 100% real to her, but it was wrong.
And listen, this isn't some rare fluke. The Innocence Project says that of the hundreds of people exonerated by DNA, 75% had been imprisoned because of inaccurate eyewitness identification. The crucial point is that false memories constructed by our unconscious minds feel just as real as true ones, and they have devastating real-world consequences. Our past isn't a recording, it's a story we are constantly rewriting.
So how does this hidden mind manage our incredibly complex and absolutely crucial social lives? Well, here's a wild one. Did you know that Tylenol can literally reduce the pain of hurt feelings? It's true. Brain scans show that social rejection, getting snubbed or excluded, activates the exact same region as physical pain, and studies confirm that a common painkiller can dull them both. Our need for connection is so fundamental, our brains basically treat a broken heart like a broken bone.
We also follow these precise unspoken social rules. For example, take a look at this. It's called the visual dominance ratio. A higher number signals higher status.
So you can see how an ROTC officer maintains more eye contact when speaking to a cadet than the cadet does in return. We all do this constantly, unconsciously adjusting our gaze to signal our place in the social hierarchy.
And our powerful unconscious instinct to form in-groups and out-groups? That was famously shown in the Robbers Cave experiment. Researchers took two groups of identical boys, turned them into rival tribes just by introducing competition, and boom, instant hostility. We're talking flag burning, cabin raids, the whole 9 yards. But then they resolved the hostility just as easily by giving them a common problem they had to solve together.
Okay, so our unconscious guides our sight, it rebuilds our memories, and it runs our social lives. But maybe its most important job of all is constructing our very sense of self.
You know, we like to think we're impartial scientists, seeking objective truth. But our brain often acts more like a lawyer. It starts with a conclusion it wants to be true, that we're smart, capable, and right, and then it unconsciously finds evidence to support that case while dismissing anything that contradicts it.
And this leads to the hilarious and very human above-average effect. Look at these numbers. When high school seniors were asked to rate themselves on getting along with others, a statistical majority, 60%, believed they were in the top 10%. And a full quarter of them thought they were in the top 1%.
And it's not just kids. For college professors, 94% say they do above-average work. Now, obviously, this is mathematically impossible, but it's not a sign of mass delusion. It's a powerful unconscious mechanism that works to protect our self-esteem and motivate us to keep trying.
So, this isn't about being an irrational puppet. The point is that our unconscious mind is a powerful survival tool. It builds a story of ourselves that is functional, not always factual, in order to keep us striving, connecting, and moving forward.
So, by becoming aware of these hidden forces, the storyteller in our memory, the social calculator in our gaze, the lawyer in our reasoning, we don't gain control, but we do gain something more valuable, a deeper understanding of ourselves, and maybe, just maybe, a greater capacity for empathy towards others. Because everyone has a storyteller and everyone has a lawyer working behind the scenes.